Greetings, YouTube. I have recently heard from some summoners, and when I say some, I mean at least 5, who are new to the game. And just imagine if you're like me and you've been playing this game for 4 years, just how overwhelming it is to download this game for the first time, even before you're in an alliance, and trying to figure out the difference between special quests and daily quests and event quests, and then all of the rank up items that I feel like it took me over a year just to explain to my brothers what they were, and even then I still felt like I was teaching Calculus 4. And so the problem is the game might seem really cool, but there's just so much to learn that if you're overwhelmed, you just I can't handle this, and you delete the app, and you go about your business. Now, some people might say that's the best decision they ever made. But for those of you like me who still love playing this game, you want people to be able to navigate the game more and just learn from past mistakes. So I'm going to do a series of videos in the next week kind of geared toward the beginning player and some tips. Now, most of you watching this, I'm guessing, are not those 5 people who talk to me. But if you have tips for people to enjoy besides Run Away Now, which I'm sure is going to be in the comment section because it always is, this is the time to be a mentor to those fellow summoners that are just trying to enjoy the game for the first time. And so I have compiled, because it's been a while since I've done one of these videos, a series of tips to help the newer player. I'm going to try to be as thorough as possible, efficient with my words when I can be, but also this is probably going to be a longer video than usual. It's not going to be a 4 to 5 minute video that I try to reach most of the time because I want to be as detailed as possible. So if this isn't the video for you, I totally understand, but maybe it is, and if so, welcome. So I want to start off with the obvious, that the arena can be a blood-sucking grind that steals your soul and makes you question your own life, and then you do it again. But if you are a free-to-play player, or say you're a college student that's pretty much strapped for cash, this is the best way to play this game for free. Because if you can build up your roster and get what's called the infinite streak in most of these arenas, you can get all of the resources you need to rank up champions in terms of ISO and gold for free. And then, once you get enough champions in your roster, you will get so much ISO that it will overflow into your inventory. You hopefully will keep track of your inventory, and before it expires, you will sell said ISO. People always ask me, Prof, how the heck do you have so much freaking gold when you don't spend a lot of money in this game? Well, it's because I've grinded my life away in the arena. Somebody asked me the other day as a joke, Prof, do you still have a soul? I said, of course I still don't have a soul. I gave it away to the arena gods years ago. I don't know what's down there. It might just be expired sour cream, but it's not a soul. So, check this out. When I go to my inventory, and I see all of these soon-to-be expired special items, which if you're clicking on this months after this, you're like, what the heck is that? Don't worry about it. Special quest item. But I've got this ISO. Now, that might not look like much, but when I go to ISO, I'm just going to sell it. And I just got 123,000 gold from the ISO that I already had. Now, what I like to do, because sometimes, like anybody else, I forget, is I try to sell up to about 7 to 8 days in my inventory worth of ISO. Now, there are going to be times like this where I don't get much back, but anything is better than nothing. If you don't use this, you lose it. It just disappears. And this 32,000 gold that I just cashed in on is 0 gold. It just goes away. And this is a mistake that I feel like a lot of players make, even like middle tier players who just kind of forget about their ISO and let it expire, and then they miss out on all this gold. And when you get 6-star champions especially, it takes a crazy amount of gold even just to take them max of rank 1. So I like to go to about 7 days, and notice by the end of this, I will have probably got about 500,000 worth of free gold that I just got for using the ISO that I get, mostly from the arena, because premium disappointment crystals, while being disappointing in terms of not having 5 or 6-star champ opportunities, are great for ISO, especially if you hit the MCOC lottery, so to speak, and you get yourself some 4 stars. I also like to hoard crystals because it keeps one of the forum moderators, Kabam Mike, up at night, and it's also just more fun to have crystal openings where you can do a batch opening. At least I think it's more fun. Maybe it's not, but for me it is. Now, once you get to the arena and selling ISO, I want to talk to you about units. Now, if you're new to my channel, you've got to understand that there are 3 to 4 offers at least on average per week in MCFC, and not all offers are created equal. In fact, there are very much times where Kabam almost puts out an ugly duckling offer to make the next offer, which is kind of an average offer by itself, look amazing in comparison. This is the analogy of going with your buddies as a wingman to the bar to pick up chicks, and your buddy intentionally goes, hey, I got a wife, and I don't think I'm looking very good, so I'm going to sit next to you. I'm going to wear my worst shirt. I'm not going to do my hair. I'm going to basically look like a homeless man, and then you're going to look like Ryan Gosling next to me, and I'm going to be your wingman by comparison. The bar rule. Well, the same is true with offers. Most of these offers you do not need to spend your money on, and you'll still be fine in the game. Every once in a while, like maybe once or twice a month, there's an offer that's at least like a B+ rating. And when that happens, I would say, okay, it's got my stamp of approval. But most of the time, I give these things a C to C- at best, but normally a D or F. You want to invest your units in guaranteed outcomes. You don't want to go to the Marvel Casino of Champions RNG, which means you want to steer clear of using your units on things like premium disappointment crystals, because most of the time you're spending 100 units for a 2-star champion. The best thing you can do with your units is invest in mastery cores, and don't do what I did, which is to not watch trusted YouTubers, because when I started this game, there really weren't many people on YouTube, if any. I just kind of winged it. I went to my mastery setup, which has done so much in change, and I thought to myself, I really like to attack. Increase the attack of all champions by 6? Sure, I'll just max that thing out. And it only cost a couple gold. I got a bunch of gold. What a great life. I maxed out greater strength and strength when I started. It was one of the dumbest things I could have done. I cost myself so many fights. I cost myself so much opportunity to get better at the game, to have more points in the arena, because also my PI, as in the rating of each player, was about 1,000 points lower than it should have been. And it took me, I'm talking years to understand this. This wasn't like a prof couple week mistake. This was terrible. So learn from my mistakes. Follow trusted mastery guides. I would like to think that mine are among some of the best, but of course I'm biased because I'm a YouTuber. Maybe you don't agree, and that's okay. But this setup is maximizing the rating for the arena, and of course now this is a full Suicide Mastery because I don't do Alliance War. Now I have other videos that I did Alliance War during it, and they're just glass cannon only for the Suicide Mastery build, but that is not part of this video. If you want to start off, because if you're a beginner, you're not going to worry about quite a bit of this mastery for a while. You want to start off by maximizing parry and opening the tree up to having 1 on dexterity. If you master dodging special attacks with dexterity, which you only need 1 out of 3 to really dodge them, and the max of both parry, and then eventually I would be irresponsible for me to not talk about stupefy because that increases the duration of parry, you could, in theory, never get hit. In fact, I know some people, I wouldn't recommend this because I get hit and I love things like willpower, but I know some people who take pride in the fact that they have 0 points in defense because they never get hit. They're amazing at this game. They're rock stars. I feel like I'm maybe a college athlete and they're an NBA all-star in comparison. And they just have all the mastery points and proficiencies in offense. And they love it. And they love this game, and that's awesome for them. For me, I think you need a balance because you're going to get wrecked from time to time. I don't care how good you are, unless I'm talking about those rare players that claim they haven't been hit since, the Obama presidency. So, here's the deal. When you want to build up your roster, when you want to say, take my advice and maximize your time in the arena, and also do your best to have your mastery set up, you want to do 2 things. I believe you want to build your 3-star roster up first, slowly but surely, because it takes the least amount of rank up materials versus what 4 and 5 stars do, and it's so easy to get the infinite streak in the 3-star featured arena with maxed 3-star champions. My goal every time I play this game is to max every single 3-star champion that I have, and you can see with my Suicide Mastery build, a lot of these are 3,000 PI and above, or at least, I don't know, 2,700 PI and above. That's going to be a lot of points in the arena, and it's also going to mean that my matchups are easier in arena fights. You can use arena boosts to maximize your points even further, and the 3-star arena boosts are very easy to get for several daily events, and so you will just accumulate them quickly even if you don't want them, which is also what I hear from people. I got all these boosts and I only use them for item use because I don't grind the arena. Okay, that's fine. Now, when it comes to quests, whether it be daily quests, special quests, event quests, I want to talk about story mode first. Go as far as you can with the skills that you have, but once you hit a wall, don't be afraid to back out of story mode. And one of the most underrated things you can do is the daily quest where you build up these daily class catalysts. If you can navigate even just the tier 1 and tier 2 of that specific class for the day and start building up those items, once you get lucky and the Casino of Champions gives you a champion that actually you can take up and use right away, you want to have the resources to use them immediately. You don't want to have to wait a week because you're missing tier 2 tech catalyst or because Kabam is trying to get you to be impatient and take your money. The key to this game, as hard as it can be at times, is patience. So if you're stuck, do like the beginner and normal difficulties of the monthly quest, and then just grind the daily catalyst events, save up basics and class catalyst. You will be so thankful that you do. At the end of the month, when I'm done with all quests, I still do that, even though I'm still really only going to use 5 and 6 star champions. Speaking of champions, you're going to have hundreds of champions in this game from all stars, but you're only going to use about 15 per week. You're going to use 5 for your main questing team. You're going to use 3 for Alliance Quest attack. You're going to use 3 for Alliance War attack, and you're going to use 5 for Alliance War defense. Now, if you're like me and you don't do Alliance War defense, you're just going to need 5 for regular questing and 3 for Alliance Quest attacks. Really, I only need 8 champions, which means there are a lot of champions I have, like rank 565, Sig 200, Cap Infinity War, or Hyperion I almost never use. And I'm okay with that because eventually maybe I'll need them for a specific amount of content that comes out. But I say that to say, don't just try to rank up all champions that you're not going to use. Be targeting, and if you're going to do the arena, also target, say, even 4 stars. I take a lot of my 4 stars to rank 3, and I have them on arena teams that I memorize to get bonus points and abilities in arena fights. So you really want to be smart with your rank ups. You want to be patient, and you don't want to make mistakes by rushing into it. Now, I have talked about this in separate videos, but I do want to end this video on the fact that joining an alliance can be the best and worst experience of your life. If you're in a great alliance, it's like being in a great relationship. Everybody's happy and in love and working together, and you're getting that dopamine because you're just so thrilled to jump. But then, if you're in a terrible alliance, it can feel like you're in the most abusive relationship of your life, where people don't donate on time, they don't care, they make fun of you if you bring up the fact that they haven't moved or donated because they are trying to be the lazy loser that costs the alliance points. And maybe it's a buddy of the alliance leader, and so they're always going to get a pass, and they're going to stay no matter how bad they are for the atmosphere and environment of the alliance. When you are starting out, don't be afraid to leave the first alliance you join. You're essentially speed dating, and you need to be kind. Don't just ghost people and leave, but say, hey guys, I think this alliance isn't working out for me. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I wish you all the best of luck. Peace. That's the way you handle that. But my issue was I met some people who helped me at the beginning with the game, and they were nice, and they did help me with tips, but they didn't care about growing their rosters. So a lot of them maybe still have rosters that 2 or 3 years later are only at 100 or 200,000 rating, whereas mine's now over 1 million. Nothing wrong with that if you want to relax, but you have to be on the same page with the other people in your alliance. So if you want to grow your roster fast, if you want to do a rocket ship toward really improving in this game, you have to not be afraid to leave alliances that are stagnant and challenge yourself for alliances that are good. The best alliances take somebody like myself at that point who is really into being available and learning, but maybe didn't have the best roster. They take a chance on them, like a 2-star recruit that turns into a 5-star recruit. You can also recruit 5-star recruits that are the worst people in the game, never communicate. Maybe they even bought an account and don't know how to play the game. They just look like on paper they've got a great roster, and they can kill the alliance. So don't be afraid to leave an alliance. I know that there are so many points I didn't have time to cover in this video. But this is the first one I'm doing, and it's already about 15 minutes, and that is about the maximum length I like to have on my video. So I'm going to stop this now. Say, please, if you want to help your fellow summoners out who are starting, besides say, delete this game and run away, because I know the comment's coming, comment below, let me know. And as always, thank you so much for watching and supporting my Marvel Casino of Champions YouTube channel when I talk about that RNG. By the way, RNG stands for random number generator. It's the same thing that slot machines use. And so the champions are random, and most of the time, you're not going to get excitement. You're going to get depression from those crystals. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a good one.